Welcome, Patrick County, to another installment of the people, the places, and the performers of Patrick County. We're very happy to be here at Denver Smith Engineering. As you all know, tourism is dedicated to promoting the county in print. We promote it in video. We promote it by getting out and marketing the county at different festivals and things. And we like to highlight the uniqueness of Patrick County. We have everything here in Patrick County, from primitive camping to five-star luxury. We also have a lot of different industries in the county that we're going to be highlighting as well too. Not just the people, but also the places and the performers. But today we're very fortunate to be at a shop by Denver Smith. And again, this is go-kart racing. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. And then we're going to just have a conversation about what he has here in the county.
Well, thank you guys for obviously coming here and doing a nice little interview, for what we do. I like to say that we're one of the best kept secrets here because we're on the outskirts of Patrick County, right on the line. But like I said, my name's Denver Smith. I'm the owner here. We've been doing this about 20 years now. And we do all kinds of fabrication and performance stuff, mainly, in detail with the race and go-kart industry. We've done very, very well in the last 20 years since we got started. It's kind of a niche business, but everything has worked out very, very well.
All right, what's good, good. Yeah, we were fortunate to meet you or hear about you from Patrick Chamber of Commerce, as well as the economic development. And right now I'm very fortunate that I have been hired and retained to be the economic director for the county as well too, and tourism. So this is very nice to see that we have some business and things of this nature in the county. As you said, you've been here for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, were you always at this particular site?
We were, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And we are located at 1479
Hollandsworth Drive.
Hollandsworth Drive. And as he had indicated, it's right in Patrick County, which we're very fortunate to have here in the county. But again, riding down here, it's a very beautiful place. I mean, it's a lot that's going on in here, but again, where it's right on the border, a lot of times we may not hear about it. For 20 years, I hadn't heard of them. And we're going to be uploading some actual still pictures probably later on to actually show you some of the race shop here. But what type of people, I guess you might say, what industry? I know you into go-karts, but it's not go-karts that, your kids would play out in the field. These are actually racing go-karts, correct?
Correct, right. These are very expensive, high-performance pieces of equipment.
Okay.
We deal with people all over the country. I have customers in Vermont, all the way down to Miami, Florida, all the way out to California, and everywhere in between. This sport is kind of the gateway to your bigger forms of racing, like Xfinity or the Cup Series or stuff like that. So a lot of the clientele that we actually deal with are, high-end people that have a lot of money and things like that. But there's also, I like to call myself the lower group of, racers, but we deal with everybody in between and the low budget racer. So there's so many different avenues, especially in this form of racing, but we call this the gateway to, higher level of racing.
Yeah. And I don't know if any of you all had an opportunity, but if you ever on TV and you're searching around, and if you can find a go-kart racing, it's pretty interesting. And again, this is not something you do if you're at Myrtle Beach, and all those go-karts are well too, but these right here, again, as he said, high performance, and you build them from the scratch, right? You just take them from raw metal.
Correct.
And start all the way up.
Yeah, we actually build about 85% of the go-kart in-house. So all of the frames, all the components, everything is done here. There's only a select few pieces of equipment that we actually have to purchase from outside sources because we're mandated to do that.
Yeah, okay, good deal.
Yep.
So thinking go-kart racing, what is probably say the fastest one that you've ever seen in the go-kart?
Well, we actually have the record at Daytona Speedway for 187 miles an hour.
187 miles an hour on a go-kart. Now that's absolutely amazing. So again, this isn't for your child to play with, but they're unique.
They are.
But again, it being a starting point for those that may be getting, like you said, into other forms of racing. Now, have you met some of the guys or have any contacts like it with some of them in some of the other sports?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a racetrack a couple hours from here that all of the Cup racers, their sons, and some of them actually race there.
Okay.
So when we go there, you see all these people on TV, and then when you're there, you're literally standing beside them in the crowd. They're just normal people.
Yeah.
They're not normal when you're pestering them for autographs and things like that, but for the most part, they are just normal people. Most of them are great guys. We talk to them all the time. You know, some of your very, very popular race car drivers. So
and I know most of the people may not, get that much maybe into motorsports of that sorts though, but and these are actually for not only just teenagers, but let's say what's one of the youngest drivers that has maybe been in go-kart racing that you're familiar with? How young can they be to get into the go-kart racing?
I had a call the other day. He needed a seat to fit a 3.5-year-old.
All right. So they start them out pretty young.
You have to. It's where it's a stepping stone sport kind of thing. If you want your child to become, good at what they do later on, or possibly get to that next level of racing, you have to start them young.
Okay. So, go-kart racing isn't any different from any other sports, whether it's basketball, football, whatever. If your child has that love for it, it's best to get it in as quick as you possibly can and get them set up for it, especially if they're looking to do, have a career or something in it as well. So, which that's good to know too. So, in the event like that of an accident, you do all of the framework and everything. So you said you have certain mandates you have to make when making it.
We do. Every frame has certain specs and guidelines that it has to go by. So our jig fixtures are built to the thousandths of an inch. Okay. So when we're done with them, we can guarantee within X amount of percentage wise that they're where they're supposed to be. Every component that we design that goes in them is the same way. Yeah. So not only is there the specs and rules, but there's the safety that goes along with it.
Okay. Now, how many people you have here working at the facility with you?
I have 2 other people that work full time with me. Okay. And then obviously I'm here all the time. Yeah. Sometimes more than 40, 50, 60 hours a week, just depending on what we have to do to get stuff out, especially in the racing industry. Somebody wrecks on Saturday, they have to have it for the next Saturday. Okay. So if we don't have it in stock, we have to make it.
Okay. Now, you said that there were some, are there any tracks? I know you mentioned just a while ago that was some a few hours away, but what are the tracks, I guess you may say, within, a decent driving district around us that does the type of go-kart racing?
Well, within an hour of here, you can beat State Line Speedway, which is just over the line the other way into North Carolina from Stewart. You also have Providence Raceway, which is just up here in Henry, which is right on the Franklin County line. So within 20 minutes, we can be at 2 racetracks. But within 3 hours, you can probably be at 25 different racetracks. Go-karting, if you don't know anything about it, is a very popular sport. From the little kids all the way up to, I know some people that are 70, 75 years old that race go-karts. So there's so many different avenues that you can work with. There's so many different racetracks, things like that. So,
So now all the go-karts are met by spec. So let's just say you have a different range. You said the age groups. I'm sure the height and all of it. Do you make them any bigger for a height, or in my case, maybe a little bit of a weight differential, or is it just by spec and you just have to?
It's the same size.
Okay.
Yep. So somebody small like me, we just change the seat, move the pedals. Yeah. Someone bigger like you, we put a bigger seat on, move the pedals.
All right.
So
good deal.
Some look different in it and some don't, but the little kids are, more challenging to get fit in there because they're so short. But we make several different components that people buy all the time that we actually put in these go-karts to make sure that they fit.
Well, good deal. Yeah. Now, you said you had a relationship with Patrick Henry Community College as well?
I do, yes. I've been a motorsports instructor there for 20 years.
Okay. Yeah. And you're still with Patrick?
Still there. Love every second of it because it's exactly what I do here. And we teach all the kids from the areas and outside of here. And we have a lot of students that come from Patrick County.
Okay. And and I know it's kind of been a growing industry as well
It
too,
has.
or I should say revamped,
Hmm.
because I'm hearing that in Arrington and some of them are starting to come back into Martinsville with the Dodge program and different things too.
Yes,
Correct. Okay.
correct. Yep.
Do you ever do anything with them for us? Does anyone in that particular area does go-kart racing?
Nobody in that area that I know does go-kart racing. I mean, we're probably the only one in this area within an hour that does what we do here.
Okay, cool
Yep.
deal.
Yep.
And see, and that's again, this is why it's such a good fit for us when we're talking about the people and the places and performers of Patrick. Because I'm pretty sure whenever you see this video, if you're watching it by live or if you watch it later on, who knew that we had this type of industry in the county? And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to promote those businesses and promote those areas as well too, and to get people like Denver out into the public to help him, potentially grow his business as well too. So as we have more people coming in, and one of the things I had mentioned to Denver as well too, with him having such a connection with some of them possibly in the NASCAR industry, but at least in the sports he's in, where there's go-kart racing, we'll work with him, help him get his word out, and maybe we can again work with him to help promote the county even more. Because people, you said now, a lot of times, sometimes you have people that actually travel to your shop out of
Absolutely.
town to get your.
We have several dealers throughout the country that they'll drive in once a year.
Yeah.
And some of them are 17, 18, 20 hours away.
Yeah.
We actually have a dealer that's coming down from up north. He's going to have about a 16-hour trip.
Okay.
But he'll be coming down in about a month to pick up some new go-karts and a lot of parts and supplies. We also have one dealer that comes all the way from Wisconsin every February and loads up on everything so he doesn't have to pay any shipping. And we spend 2 or 3 days with them and have a good time, take them out to dinner. We always like to go this way towards Patrick County because it's got some good restaurants, things like that. So yeah.
Oh, well, awesome. So is y'all season sort of like and I'm using just NASCAR as a reference, is y'all season sort of like a NASCAR? Did they have the off season, on season, or is it pretty much all year round at just various times?
It's pretty much all year round. It used to be fairly seasonable. So, you'd start about March, end about November. But now it's gotten to the point where they do a lot of indoor racing. So you'll be, you might have a 2 or 3 week break, and then you'll start indoor season.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty much year round.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
And your connection with Patrick County Community College, are you familiar with the Patrick County High School and some of the programs they have in SCT classes?
I actually went to Patrick County High School.
Okay, awesome.
So
good
yeah, I'm a 2001 graduate of there, and I took a lot of the programs like building trades and things like that because I always wanted to do stuff with my hands. So, but yeah, very, very much so. We deal with a lot of the students through dual enrollment with them.
Yeah.
So the CTE program and things like that, very, very familiar with it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things too that I'm learning more about and really excited, especially on the economic development side of growing the county with the amount of skilled labor that we have that's going to be coming out of the high school now. I know Tracy Cox and the entire Patrick County High School staff does a great job again with getting those students prepared to be able to go right into some type of field or a trade field. And I know traditionally we would like all of our kids to possibly get a 4-year degree, and a lot of them wants those business style jobs.
Right.
But again, those trades is really what's keeping America really going. And I'm very happy and proud to hear of the work that they're doing through the CT program at the Patrick County High School.
They're doing a lot of very good things for these students that are going to be going into trades such as what we do here.
Yeah.
So a matter of fact, the 2 employees that I have are ex-motorsports students that shined.
Yeah.
So we hired them once they graduated. Obviously, I like to keep my business separate from my work, but it's just one of those things that when they're good, and you don't want to see them leave.
Yeah.
So, but as far as getting these students out there into the field and into the world, as I like to call them, hands-on workers, this world definitely needs a lot more of those that are good with their work ethics and things like that.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Now, the 2 employees you have, did they come from Patch County High School, or was they from like the Martinsville, Henry? I'm just curious.
Well, one of them is actually from Pittsylvania County. Her name is Brenna.
Okay.
She works for me now, and she's finishing up her motorsports degree now.
Okay.
But she's very talented. And then Devin Haynes, he's actually my house driver for our go-kart team.
Okay.
And he actually went to Bassett High School, took my program, graduated, then he started working here.
Okay. Well, good.
So, yep.
Good. And that's good to hear. And I hope you heard it that there is a female here that does welding. And it's one of the things, too, that I think that's important for us to highlight as well, too, that this field right here is for all people. And I know sometimes traditionally you don't think that, women, girls are particularly into the welding program or mechanics and that type of thing. But I see that as a growing field because my daughter actually welds, and I've got another younger son that welds as well, too.
That's right.
So that's awesome to hear. And I know that they are, should the opportunity for you expand in the future, again, you'll have a wealth of people to draw from in the area around. But again, highlighting Paget County, just let you know that we've got a lot of industry and things that the kids can go into. So on a typical day, when you come into your race shop, what's one of the things that you normally do? Just give us a typical day in the day of go-kart manufacturing.
Well, obviously we get here at 8 o'clock. We all sit down. I know there's only 3 of us, but we sit down. We discuss what we're going to do throughout the day because, every day is different here. It's not the same. It's not like a desk job where you're going to have paperwork and you're going to have this. There's always something new. My phone rings off the hook. My email rings off. It's just all the time. We need this. We need that. So whether we have certain boxes that need to be shipped, any one of us can do anything in here. So we all just kind of go down the list. We pick what we're going to do and we execute it. And when we're done, we go on to what's next on the list. So like I said, there's no in particular thing that we ever do that's the same. It's always different. So it's always challenging. It's always fun. And then obviously we got to take lunch at 12.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But, that's about the only thing that's the same. That's consistent.
Yeah.
And then some nights, I'll be here till 7, 8 o'clock just because we have stuff we have to finish. So it's not a 40-hour-a-week job. It's demanding, hot. Even with the air conditioning, it's hot.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly doing things. But we're always trying to make sure that we're up on inventory. We always make sure that, we're getting stuff out that we need throughout the week. It's just constantly changing.
Yeah, that's good. And I know that really keeps you entertained.
It does.
So it doesn't get mundane on it. Now, you don't have to get too much into the details, but what would an average go-kart from complete to actually put on the track run an individual? Now, if that's trade secret.
Well, no, it's not trade secret.
Yeah.
On an average, you're looking somewhere around $7,000. Obviously, you can go a little bit lower end than that, and you can go even higher than that.
Yeah.
The average ones that we sell, just a rolling chassis, no motor, clutch, wheels, tires, none of that. Just a frame like you'll see in the pictures posted later.
Yeah.
Those are anywhere from $3,600 to $4,600, and then motors are $1,200 to $1,500. Clutches are $300.
Wow.
You start adding all that stuff, and then if you really want to go drastic, we have we have our own line of carbon fiber parts, so that's very pricey, and then we have our own line of titanium parts, which is very pricey. So you can really snowball it from where you want. But racing's one of those sports that you either are a hobbyist or you're extreme. There's no in between. Yeah. So once you feel that passion for speed and winning, it doesn't matter what it costs.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And several of the people that I've talked to too, that's the same. Yeah, I fully understand that, which is good though. And I mean, anything you do, you want to have some passion involved in it to make sure you really like what you're doing. So that's, again, this isn't for what you might say, just your average go-kart racer. This is something that if you're going to get into it, you need to get into it and make sure that you understand what you're getting into.
I tell all my customers, if you want to have fun, that's fine. But if not, it's a job.
Yeah.
what everybody sees on Saturday, they have no clue how much it takes to get there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sometimes cleaning these things will take 4 or 5 hours just to make sure that they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you work on them throughout the week. And then, you know, tires is a job in itself. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And I can imagine those tires right there can be a little challenging getting them things mounted, I'm sure.
Well, mounting them's the easy part. It's you know, we're allowed to use chemicals to treat them to make them grip or not grip or do things like that. So you almost have to have a physics degree in chemicals and things like that just to get where you need to be.
Yeah.
But it's a whole nother job, and it'd take a whole nother show to explain it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the things too that is so unique about the shop here. I'm sure y'all seen videos in times past and heard some of the things that the Wood brothers racing, especially if you're looking at Leonard Wood, and you know, and he's phenomenal. I mean, and the way that he thinks, the way he can do things. But it's not something that you just say, hey, let's go in there and throw a go-kart together. But it actually takes some time, some precision work. And
it took us 2 years to come out with our first go-kart.
Okay.
Just from trial and error. And I bet you I cut up 20 go-karts and put them in the scrap pile.
Okay.
I mean, just to get where we needed to be.
Yeah.
It's constant research and development. When we go to the racetrack, yes, we're there to win, but we're also there to test to help our customers out.
Yeah.
You know, we have about a 350 to 400 customer base throughout the country, and they literally will call all week. So we talk to all these people throughout the week.
Yeah.
So they're constantly on, what's new? What are you doing? Have you found anything different? Things like that. It's just one of those things that, you know, is just a constant.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm flying to Wisconsin for the Nationals. I'm going out there because I have about 40 customers that are going to be there, and we want to find out how to make them faster, how to make them better as a whole, and then they can help each other when I'm gone.
Okay.
So there's so much stuff that goes on.
So really, go-kart racing is the same as NASCAR.
Same.
Always trying to get better.
Always
trying to beat the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your equipment is up to speed.
Absolutely.
And you said you had your own race team?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
We don't get to race as much as we like to because we're so busy.
Yeah.
But we try and race, you know, once or twice a month. Obviously, during the summer months, they don't run a lot because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah.
But as far as our race team, yeah, we race anywhere from 4 to 5 classes a weekend, and then I have several customers that we keep their stuff up. Some of the go-karts in here now are customer carts that we keep up on a weekly for them to race. So we have a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, State Line, how often do they race at State Line? Or if you're familiar with, I know you race there, but yeah.
Yeah. I've raced there as long as I can remember. I think I raced there 5 years before I even started my company. So it's kind of like my hometown track. But you know, here in the last few years, obviously after COVID happened, things like that, they kind of cut back on some of their racing schedule. So they ran about once a month, and they took July and August off. So then our next race there will be, I think it's August 30th or 31st. And then they'll run 3 or 4 more times throughout the year till the end of the season.
All right. And is that Steele? I mean, Mr. Steele, is that still involved in it, or who owns it?
Yes, Dale Steele,
Steele,
who used to work at the high school. Yeah. I believe he still owns all of it, and his grandson Devin and his wife Emily Steele, they run it, you know, for the seasons. They've done a great job over the last 2 or 3 years, you know, doing that. They brought a lot of, you know, new places or new people there from different places and things like that. So, you know, obviously we'd like to run more because, you know, that's what our business is, but we understand that it's hot and everybody has a life and they have other things going on. So,
yeah, cool deal.
Yep.
And as he indicated, that's just right over the road on 704.
Yes.
Right. So just in the Carolina. So if you get an opportunity when you know that they're out there, maybe go out and check them out as well too, and see Denver in action. But again, this is another one of the people, the places, and performers here in Patrick County. As we indicated, we're going to be uploading some still photos a little bit later, and just let you see the shop. And, you know, if anybody's out there is, you know, potentially interested in getting into go-kart racing, reach out to him. We'll have some more information as well too. But very thankful for you, Denver, and wish
Appreciate
you
it.
much success. 20 years in Patrick County. Now that's absolutely amazing, and that's again some of those hidden gems, as he indicated, that we have here in the county. But before we close here, now you're married, got
Yes.
how many children?
I'm married. I've been married. My anniversary is next week.
Okay.
Be 14 years to my awesome wife Beth, because
Okay.
I know if I don't say that,
There
she'll
you go.
hurt me.
That's right.
But she allows me to do this because, like
Yeah.
I said, it's not a 40-hour-a-week
Yeah,
job.
I
I mean,
understand.
not only do I work at the college 40 hours, I work here 40 hours
Yeah.
during 9 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So during the summer, I'm off, which is great. And we get to go on trips and things like that. And then I have my daughter Elise. She's 9, and she is a spitting image of me, as my wife says. She's going to be just like me.
Yeah. All right.
So
Does she get into?
no,
she had- okay.
Mom does not want that.
Okay, all right.
She's a 3-night-a-week dancer.
Okay. Good
So,
deal.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that will keep a good mix in the family.
Yes, we will. We will for sure.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, Denver, we thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you.
And I am truly glad that we got an opportunity to meet. Again, if anything that we can possibly do, just keep us in mind, and we'll definitely keep you in mind. If we have anything we can turn your ways to some business, we'll definitely let
Absolutely.
you know. But again, this is another episode of the people, the places, and the performers of Patrick. This will be up later on our YouTube page. Again, we're very thankful for the entire county. We know that there are probably other unique industries in our county we may not even know about, but we are asking any of you all that if you have those key people, unique places, and also the performers. As you've seen, we've got some outstanding musicians. We'll be talking to some of them that's in theater later on, but we're very thankful for everything we have here in Patrick County. And again, as we always say, come get lost and find yourself here, and you will find something that you will love about the county. Thank you very much, Denver.
Thank you.
Appreciate the interview.
Anytime.
We wish you much success.
Thank you.